Good morning, Earthlings. How you doing today? Josh Poet with you here. First Contact Radio coming at you Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now let's jump into things right away. We're going to start off with our dream spell. It's our 13-moon calendar, and today's date is called the White Lunar Mirror. The White Lunar Mirror. White is the color of refinement. The lunar tone is the second tone because we're into a new wave spell. Remember that we started yesterday. So for 13 days, we're in a wave spell. And today we are at the second position of those 13 days. The symbol for today is the white mirror, and the guide for today is the dog. Altogether, we're the white lunar mirror guided by the dog, and the phrase for today is I polarize in order to reflect. Stabilizing order. I seal the matrix of endlessness with the lunar tone of challenge. I am guided by the power of heart. On the Gregorian calendar, it is Tuesday, May 31st, 2011. So it's kind of cool how this dream spell works. You know, when we have our regular days here with the calendar we follow, we've got the Monday and the Tuesday, and every day is the same. You know, you got 7 different days. Here you've got a different day, a different name for each day. White Lunar Mirror. So it kind of makes it interesting, and you learn a little bit about what each day means, what the ideas mean, so on and so forth. Alright, so that's for today. Now we have the cosmic news, and Dirk's going to revisit some more information, alien information that is, about UFOs. And let me find the story right here. Let me see what we got. There we go. Alright, I believe we're on to something. There it is. Alright, so we're all queued up now, and this is Dirk Bradshaw in the Cosmic News. Dirk, over to you.
Next up on the Cosmic News Network, the Cosmic News with Dirk Bradshaw.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just a caveman. I fell on some ice and was later thawed out by some of your scientists. Your world frightens and confuses me. When I'm courtside at a Laker game, I wonder if the ball is some sort of food that they're fighting over. I don't know, because I'm a caveman. That's the way I think. I don't know much about this strange new world, but I do know that FreeInLA.com is the greatest thing ever on the internet. Free in LA has over 3,000 things to do free in Los Angeles, so you don't need to be a caveman to know that FreeInLA.com is the place to be. Hey there, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is time for the greatest show on Earth. That would be the Cosmic News with Dirk Bradshaw. And lucky for you, I am Dirk Bradshaw. Well, tonight we are going to talk about the government and the UFO cover-up. And we're going to hopefully try to answer why the government would even try and cover up alien and extraterrestrial visits here to the planet Earth. Well, since 1946, it has been clear to Defense Intelligence chiefs studying so-called ghost aircraft waves in Scandinavia and elsewhere that intelligently controlled objects of unknown origin and purpose were operating in our atmosphere, even as early as 1942, when mysterious objects appeared over Los Angeles. General George Marshall, as Army Chief of Staff, was unable to account for the sightings in conventional terms. So why all the secrecy? Well, you would think it was for your own benefit, so that you don't overreact out of fear. But really, it comes down to financial terms. You see, if a government admits that UFOs are extraterrestrials, well, then they got a lot to explain to do. A lot about technology that's been reversed engineered from UFOs and extraterrestrials. Well, does that information now need to be shared? And does that level the playing field for all countries once they have that information? That's the big question. And that's one of the questions we're hoping to uncover tonight on the Cosmic News. So stay tuned.
It's just after midnight on a late fall evening. Police Sergeant Toby Malordo is responding to a report of a strange light in the night sky. Suddenly, his car mysteriously shuts down. What happened next would change his life forever. A spacecraft from another world secretly visiting the Earth. Thousands being kidnapped by an alien species and subjected to horrifying experiments. Outrageous claims? Or could they possibly be true? Good evening, I'm Robert Davi. Tonight we'll search for confirmation, the hard evidence of an extraterrestrial visitation. We'll seek the answer to the question, are aliens among us? Tonight, startling footage of a UFO. But is it for real?
It has to be something incredible.
This UFO was filmed from the space shuttle.
The technology we're looking at is quantum leaps beyond anything we have on the Earth.
These people say they've been abducted by aliens.
They were tall, they were very thin, huge eyes.
And that horrible things were done to their bodies.
A probe was put up my right nostril.
I was terrified.
When did the UFO phenomenon begin?
Roswell, New Mexico is still the mother of all UFO stories.
But is our government telling us the truth?
The Army said it was a flying saucer.
Is there a cover-up of UFOs? This teenager says he's got proof.
I found reports going all the way through the 1990s.
And he's posting this evidence on the internet.
There's something there that the government doesn't want us to see.
Does this man have an alien implant?
I don't want that thing in me if I didn't give them permission to put it in.
Doctors are shocked by what they find. This man's life has been a nightmare of alien abductions.
Why me? And for what reason?
Is his story a hint of our dark future? And for the first time on television, the most credible recent UFO sighting, recorded by over a dozen policemen.
This is weird. Oh my God, I hope that's a plane. Oh, please be a plane. Oh, please.
Are UFOs real? Do aliens exist? Tonight, join me as we explore one of the greatest mysteries of our time. UFOs, unidentified flying objects. Are they actually alien spacecraft? Or, as many claim, events of nature and elaborate hoaxes? To discover the truth, we must examine the evidence. In the last 50 years, literally thousands of UFOs have been photographed. And recently, home video cameras have captured many more on video. Many of these UFOs are breathtaking. Others are just bizarre. Two of the more remarkable images include a controversial new video that many called a hoax, and a decades-old photograph that, to this day, no one can disprove. We begin with a look at the most recent hotspot of UFO activity, Mexico.
The nation of Mexico is certainly one of the hottest areas for UFOs in the world today, and the phenomenon of the Mexico City UFOs is really a phenomenon driven by videotape.
No one knows more about this phenomenon than Jaime Maussan. director and host of Third Millennium, a popular TV show in Mexico that deals with the unexplained. Every week, Masan airs footage shot by his viewers with their own cameras. One type of UFO captured again and again has Masan convinced that something unearthly is going on.
The first event, it happened on July 11th, 1991. Many people in different cities saw UFOs, and some of them were able to record it.
And this is what they caught on video. Numerous, shiny, apparently metallic discs. Some have called these UFOs the planet Venus. But that doesn't explain this phenomenon.
We have these objects making a formation with more than 20, 30, 50, 100, or probably more than 100 UFOs. They get together, they separate, they make a figure here, another figure there. Very difficult to explain. I don't know what they are, but they could be signs in the sky.
But all of these sightings pale in comparison to video footage Masan received anonymously in 1997. A mysterious tape that would place him directly at the center of an explosive UFO controversy.
They were able to record these 21 seconds of this object hovering behind the buildings.
What you're seeing now is that anonymous video. We present it unedited and without any visual enhancement. The object resembles a stereotypical flying saucer. What makes the UFO so striking is its movement, darting behind these high-rises, suggesting that its size is over 50 feet in diameter. But is this footage for real?
I thought it was a hoax. I haven't seen anything so real, so clear, so close. And then I said, no, this is not a hoax. There has to be something incredible.
The obvious question arises, were there any witnesses? Many did come forward after the footage was aired on Masan's program. Even so, Masan claims one is credible.
A little girl, her name is Cassandra. She didn't see the video, and she described exactly the same thing.
It was a huge object going around and around. I never seen anything like this before. It was gray and metallic. I felt very tense.
Yesterday we presented a video on television. Did you see it?
No.
There is a group of more than 100 people who don't want to come into a camera in front of the public, but they say, we saw it. If this is a hoax, it's a masterpiece.
It is potentially very strong evidence of something very curious. And one has to ask, could this possibly be real?
We asked that very question to renowned skeptic Philip Klass, the author of numerous articles and books on the UFO controversy, and an aggressive debunker of any purported evidence of aliens among us. Klass is not afraid to confront anyone on the subject, even Jaime Maussan.
In 32 years, I have never encountered a single case that could not be explained in down-to-earth, prosaic terms.
What does he think of the mysterious discs videotaped all over Mexico?
These are helium-filled mylar balloons, which are sold in Mexico. They are very popular.
And what about the anonymous flying saucer footage?
Almost certainly, beyond any doubt in my mind, this was a hoax.
When I first saw this, I said, wow, maybe there's really something here, but on closer examination, it doesn't make it.
Visual effects artist Dennis Murin has won 8 Academy Awards for his work on such films as Star Wars and Jurassic Park.
I just adjusted the contrast a bit on it to bring the contrast up and brighten the scene up a bit. And it looks like the line underneath the saucer here might be continuing on through the building. I think what we're seeing here is actually a composite. It's 2 separate scenes.
Here, at Industrial Light and Magic, Hollywood's leading special effects company. Creating a shot like this is about as easy as it gets. All you need is the right software.
Oh, man, I can't believe it's over. Where does the time go? Well, I see the fat lady's off the stage. She's looking right at me. It's time for me to go put her to bed. I hate goodbyes. So instead I'm going to say, until we meet again, I'm Dirk Bradshaw for the Cosmic News. Wake up.
For some of the greatest crimes against this nation, would you really want to know? These are big questions, but these questions deserve answers. It's time to demand the truth.
People should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of people.
9/11 was an inside job. Kennedy was killed by the CIA. Jimmy Carter saw a UFO. Answers to secrets you need to know. So wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. The evidence is overwhelming. Step past your fear, take a look. Illuminati lies keep growing, but they're losing from your eyes. And wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. What would our founding fathers say if they were alive today? Must be turning in their graves. Redcoats are coming, Big Brother's watching. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. One if by land and two if by sea, and I on the opposite shore will be ready to ride and spread the alarm through every Middlesex village and farm. Whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it. When a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Patriots arise. It's time to demand the truth.
This is the UFO News with Joshua Poet.
All right, Dirk, thank you very much. This is the UFO News for today. What do we got? What do we got? We're going to start things off here with a squadron. That's right. Is this a squadron of UFOs flying over California? The story was here yesterday, but this is from another source. DailyMail.co. DailyMail.co. David Gardner. The internet is abuzz over an alleged UFO sighting in the night sky over Oakland, California. 3 fast-moving dots of light can be seen traveling close together in a video posted on YouTube by Kevin MC360. The UFO squadron shows 3 lights in a triangular pattern spotted on May 26th. Cynics claim the cameraman has merely captured a flock of birds, but Kevin insists the sighting was genuine. In the film, he follows a plane as a point of reference. For all of you bird lovers out there, you can call them geese if you like, but I will only laugh at you, he said. The UFO video has already attracted more than 2,500 viewings. He posted it a year after claiming to have filmed the group of spacecraft over Oakland. I got them. There was a squadron of spacecraft, he claimed in the video, which shows 5 lights in a V formation. Alright, and let's see here. Let's take a look at this one here. We were looking at it yesterday. Alright, and if if you remember and recall, you'll be able to see this video. The moon is in green color here, looks like night vision. And as you go across right in the middle of the screen, there's a strange triangular looking image made up of 3 dots right here in the middle. You know, it is strange how debunkers come up with some of their ideas. Geese, yeah, it could be some geese. They like to fly in that particular triangular pattern like that, right? So check that out, see what you think of there. We have another one here, massive UFO sighting over Mayfield. And let's take a look at this. Alright, if you can see that. And there's some series of like 3 lights. Kind of close. Alright. Number of lights there. It's all looks like quite a ship with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blinking lights across the front of it. And if you check out UFO news at our site, you can find the whole story there. Watch it. Alright, here we go from Michael Cohen at All News Web. Astonishing UFO footage from Japan heralds open alien contact. Says the unprecedented wave of UFO sightings and footage that accompanied the tragic earthquake and tsunami that occurred in Japan has not abated. Only this week, what was being billed by some as the best UFO footage ever captured has been filmed at various locations around the country. In one clip, a clear saucer-shaped UFO is seen hovering above power lines during daytime hours. In other clips, fleets of UFOs are performing maneuvers that many Japanese observers and scientists are suggesting might well be the message of hope, along with the promise of open contact by aliens and humanity by the year's end. To emphasize the connection between the natural disasters and UFOs, it should be noted that only 3 weeks ago this publication reported a UFO fleet seen crossing over the Krasnodar region in Russia. Now a crop circle has been discovered in a field in the area, and many are interpreting it as a warning of devastating earthquakes that might hit the region. Russian scientists linked with government-sponsored UFO research units are suggesting, in light of this and other events, that open contact might take place as early as September 10th of this year, when a UFO following the comet element might land and its alien occupants announce their presence to humanity. Let's take a look at this footage here. This is from Japan and a crop circle in Russia. Let's see here.
Take a look at this amazing footage, and it really is incredible. And it was only filmed in the last week in various locations in Japan.
There we go. Oh wow, that's a pretty good sighting there. Look at that. Yeah, that's a really clear sighting right there. I don't know, you should be able to see it right behind me here. It was there, it disappeared. Now we got 3 lights. 3 little triangle, little balls of light apparently that are doing some sort of maneuvers. Flying around. Obviously people there can see them. Alright, here we go. Another series of lights. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow, there's new lights blinking on along the way. And then let's zip ahead to this.
Вызвали 10-километровую пробку на автомагистрали. Сотни людей изучают и снимают ячменное поле в окрестностях Краснодара. На днях там появились гигантские таинственные узоры. Обычно следы предполагаемого визита инопланетян выглядят...
It is essential that if humanity is to make open contact with an alien race, we must start taking these messages seriously.
Alright, good statement there, Michael. Good statement. We must take them serious. Alright, and moving along, we have a massive UFO over Queensland. A video recently uploaded on YouTube said said to show a massive UFO hovering above Queensland, Australia. The video shows a band of pink lights, a band of lights that appears to be rather large size, hovering above the city. It reminds me of the Phoenix Lights video that was shot in Arizona in the late 90s. Could these lights be from an extraterrestrial craft or something like Chinese lanterns in this case, or in the case of such confusion? Alright, let's look at this. Was this what we just saw? Alright, yeah, this is one we just saw here. And it is a series of lights. No, I don't know that these are Chinese lanterns. I suppose there's always the possibility. But you should go to UFO News, check it out, see what you think, make the decisions for yourself. You know, that's the whole idea of these things, for you to decide for yourself what's going on out there. Now, obviously, something's going on. Obviously, it's going on. People are videotaping these things, they're talking about these things, and messages are appearing in the fields. Perhaps it is important to pay attention to what these messages are. Perhaps it is important to maybe change our attitude the way that Earthlings are looking at these ships. Because maybe they're there to help, and they're just waiting for humans to settle down and stop throwing things at them or shooting things at them. So far, so good. Nothing was shot at what we saw there in Japan. Hopefully it won't be. Alright, hopefully it won't be. I'm going to jump to a song. I will be right back. That is our UFO news for today. Here we go.
If all of this is true, and the evidence...
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum. Oh, shit.
Underground is where they live, in the bases that are secretive. We're not supposed to know where they come from or where they go. And if you ask our leaders today, this is what they will say. I can neither confirm or deny. I can neither confirm or deny. I can neither confirm or deny. What's up with their lies? Plausible deniability. That's their answer to all we think we see. So pay attention, read between the lines. Changes are happening, revealing lies. And if you ask our leaders today, this is what they will say. I can neither confirm or deny. I can neither confirm or deny. I can neither confirm or deny. What's up with their lies? Underground is where they live, in the bases that are secretive. We're not supposed to know where they come from or where they go. And if you ask our leaders today, this is what they will say. I can neither confirm or deny. I can neither confirm or deny. I can neither confirm or deny. What's up with their lies? I can neither confirm or deny. They can neither confirm or deny. It's it's time for them, confirm or deny. No more secret lies. I don't know about you, but I can't stand it anymore. I know what I saw. You know what you saw. Stand up for yourself. Think for yourself. The truth is out there.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Josh Poe, First Contact Radio. All right. Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth, AE911truth.org. That is a site that you should be checking out periodically to see what they've got going on there. But I'm going to let you know about some of the things they've got going on right now. Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth is exactly what it says. Architects and engineers who have looked at the evidence, have done their analysis, or have studied the analysis and research that others have done, and have come to conclusions based on what they know as architects and engineers. And they make these cool little videos that are posted there. And I get these updates to my YouTube subscriptions here. So here's just some of the most recent ones you have here. You have Kathy McGrade, a meteorological engineer. We have Eric, lawyer, firefighter. David Tapet, MSCE. So SC must be structural engineer. And we have fire protection engineer Ed Munyak. Tony Zambati, a mechanical engineer. Stephen Dusterwald, structural engineer. Robert Pulaski, physicist engineer. Lynn Margulis, PhD, scientist. Jerry Lobel, CE, chemical engineer, physicist. Michael Donnelly, PE, structural engineer. Camille Obeid, CE, structural engineer. We have Tom Sullivan, who's an explosive expert. Les Young, what it doesn't say, I think he's an engineer. Architect, here we go. Architect. And then we have on and on, Mike Ravel. And the list just continues on. There's many, many, many individuals out there who have spent the time doing the research and know that what's going on there is not accurate to what people are being told. So check it out. I'm going to continue to be playing things from them. I'm not going to do anything for today, but maybe tomorrow we'll get to one of them. But I did want to alert you of that site. You should go check it out, see how it's updated, see what's there. Go to YouTube, put in AE911 Truth, and you'll come up with all of their videos. Subscribe to their videos so you can get the updates as there's new engineers and those that put stuff on. All right, moving along, here is a little bit of information about what's going on out there in the world and the weather and so on and so forth. This is a really good one. This guy goes by the name Packy. I don't know what his last name is. P-S-A-V-V-E-N-A-S. That's his name over there at YouTube. You've heard his voice before because I've played his stuff, and I'm going to play some more here. Powertheweb.net. That's his site apparently, and a lot of good stuff there. Here, check this out. It's only a few minutes.
Hey guys, Packy here. Just wanted to bring you to an article that a YouTube friend of mine sent me, and I think you're going to find it very interesting. And I have a couple other articles that I'll get to if I have time. But it says right here, Japan's government, threatened with more HARP attacks, pays 60 trillion yen to the feds. Alright, so in other words, the feds own Japan's government. Okay. Now, what it says is this is posted on April 5th, and it says the cowardly Japanese Prime Minister Natayo Kan handed 60 trillion yen over to the Federal Reserve crime syndicate immediately after his country was attacked with HARP and nuclear terror, according to Japanese security police sources. The extortion money was paid off following threats to use HARP to cause Mount Fuji to erupt. For those of you who are still brainwashed and believe such a thing is possible, please take a look at the following transcript available on the U.S. Defense Department's homepage. I'm going to provide the links for you guys. You guys check it out. Let me know what you think. Please comment. I'd be interested to know what's going on. So, obviously the feds own did. And then the feds also own us. Remember that. That's who you pay your tax dollars to. So, anyways, you guys I'll leave both of these articles here. This one goes through a transcript, but I'll just go ahead and leave that one there. Now, get this too, guys. This is a New York Post. Sorry. Alright. It says, coming this summer, $5 a gas. Huh. Well, why do you think that is? I'm going to tell you. Inflation. You guys, we're getting hammered. Can you imagine $5 gas? Wow. Okay. The forecast for the summer driving season hit the road early. Not to beat the traffic, but to beat the higher prices that are expected in mid-July. Goldman Sachs' crystal ball is proclaiming that oil will soon soar to $135 a barrel. Alright guys, I'm telling you right now, you need to get silver now. Right now.
Alright.
Okay.
So, there you go. Let's jump to this article so we can bring it up here. Where is it? Threatened by HARP attacks. Alright. Right here, let's see here. There it is. eclink.wordpress.com. Right here. The cowardly Japanese Prime Minister Noto Kan handed over 60 trillion yen to the Federal Reserve Board crime syndicate immediately after his country was attacked with HARP and nuclear terror. So right here. Now, this is what's up on the Department of Defense homepage right here. They have a quote saying, others are engaging even in an echo type of terrorism whereby they can alter the climate, set off earthquakes, volcanoes remotely through the use of electromagnetic waves. So, here you go. This is their website, and it's within the body of here. And we will find that statement. Well, it's quite a bit to read, but if you go to the link there for the video, and I'll have it posted up there at YouTube, so you can definitely check it out. And then follow the link there, and you can go and find out all this. But it's right in there, the information about what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They're into the weather wars, and that's just the problem that everybody else has to deal with, because they're not going to tell you, but they're going to keep doing it. Here's the... There we go. This is footage of the Grim volcano going off. Looks like. I believe that's what that one is. And if we go over here, let's see. Let's check out with what Dutchson's has. He's pointing out some weather we need to pay attention to. Yeah, look at that.
Partially illuminated where you can see the hollowness of the cone on the inside. Now let's look at it on a different radar, and you can even see it on a telecast. You can see the HARP ring outbreak, which are large rings emanating from ground-based NEXRAD radar stations. Now what this means is we can issue a forecast based upon where these rings are occurring out of for the next 24 to 48 hours. After this storm blows through, we can issue another forecast. So let's zoom in and see what the epicenters of these large rings are. Okay, this large ring looks like the epicenter is Topeka, Kansas. So if you were to take a circumference and just draw it all the way
Topeka,
around,
Kansas, so we'll pay attention to that.
is Topeka at 97 and Highway 2. Let's keep going north, and if there's any more. Yes, there's one more out of Sioux Falls with a top here, and then this bottom curve shape here puts, let's find out here. In between Huron and Aberdeen,
Okay, so these are things to keep an eye out for, and he says usually with these 24 to 48 hours, so we're within that time frame where we might start seeing some weather. So if you are checking up on Intellicast, which is a great place to go, check your weather there. You'll be able to track these storms. Now, what's really cool thing to do is when you go to these videos that are up there underneath the show more, I mean, these researchers are putting all sorts of links to their findings here and links to these different weather stations. So it makes it real easy for you to be able to continue to track the weather on your own and learn the process of it just by following these links, opening them up, and you've got weather maps. You've got the same ones that meteorologists are looking at that tell you the news and the weather in your own hometown. So check it out here. I'm going to have these links up on the YouTube page in just a bit, so you'll be able to see those. Alright, so we're living in crazy times, folks. We got to really pay attention because, you know, we really are dealing with so much. Let me refresh your memory on this map that we are a little right up here. We had a number of different things we're looking at. We've got the rapture prediction, which has been moved from May 21st to October 21st. However, it was started with an earthquake in New Zealand, as Howard Camping did predict, so that one was at least right. The FEMA exercises over in the Midwest, but they're still dealing with floods, and there still are little mini earthquakes that are happening in different places, Oklahoma and Arkansas. We all know about the tornadoes that hit out there in Joplin, and I'm certain there's probably going to be some more that are going to be taking place based on what we're seeing. We know there's been a lot more than what's hit Joplin. There's been tornadoes that have been up in Minnesota, Iowa, Oklahoma, all around in the middle of the country. There's been a lot of stuff going on. So we need to pay attention more about these kind of activities taking place out there. Now, one of the things to pay attention to on our list here is Comet Elenin. That's the big question people have. Is Comet Elenin going to hit us? Well, I found something up here. This is at UFObriefcase.net, and this is a statement from Mr. Elenin himself. And according to him, he says, "There is no risk of danger. My comet will pass at a distance of 34,400,000 kilometers from Earth. For example, the minimal distance to another planet of our solar system, Venus, is 38,000 kilometers. This distance is completely safe for us. Earth may pass through the comet tail, but this event is not dangerous also. In 1910, Earth passed through the Halley's Comet tail and nothing happened. I continue, my comet is only a comet which will pass near the Earth. It has happened in the past, it will happen in the future. I suggest we simply enjoy the coming spectacle that is totally harmless to the Earth, to look at the beauty of the cosmos around us." And then supporting all of this, we have, of course, the same graphic that you saw the other day, or that I told you about the other day, where you can go and just track and see where the orbit is actually going. So something to definitely keep your eye open towards the sky for, because we don't quite know what's going to go on. But there are those who are saying that the electromagnetic pool, the magnetic fields from that planet is affecting ours. Think of it this way. Think if you have two magnets. You put the magnets close together, the magnets push away from each other. Or, if they're really strong, they stick together. Well, planets have magnetics to them. Magnetic cores, magnetic properties. So as they become closer, the magnetics of one, that magnetic field, is going to affect the magnetic field of another one. How strong? Well, it just depends on how close or how far apart they are. We all know that when we take a magnet, there's a certain point of no return where we get the magnet so close, and all of a sudden it gets close and it really fast and connects. Or it may completely push it away. There's a very delicate balance that seems to take place within that magnetic field. Maybe that's something that we're going to be seeing with these comets as they go through. How will they affect the Earth? Are they big enough that they're going to affect the Earth? Are they small enough that they're just going to go on and not really affect us at all? Well, that's the big thing that we are certainly concerned about. big thing that we're concerned about, that it isn't, that it might affect us, and that maybe it is something that is involved with these earthquakes, these floods, and so on. Time will tell on that one. Time will tell. We certainly know that there are a lot of problems, and there's video up online showing the times when there have been major earthquakes that have taken place recently that have certainly connected in with times when these alignments of Elenin coming in. Honda and Levy have also, been in certain alignments, and they have been on days when there have been different earthquakes on the planet. Maybe it's a coincidence, maybe it's not. Maybe there's aliens and ships coming down here behind Comet Elenin, maybe not. All in all, Earthlings, it's just time to pay attention, because you are seeing more and more of our space brothers out there who are making their presence known, because they want to help. They definitely want to help. Now, it doesn't mean that there aren't those out there with ill will and bad intent, because we all know that that's possible. There's people living on this planet that have bad ideas for the planet Earth, so why would we not think that there are those out in space who might not have bad ideas as well, just because they can fly around in a spaceship? But we have to have hope and believe that there's many more with good ideas and intentions, and I know that that be the case. Alright? I want to play a bit for you, something that's an interesting video. Have you seen They Live? Rowdy Roddy Piper. It's a story of he's a drifter. He's going through the city. I believe he ends up in Colorado, and he's working there, and he happens to notice some strange activity. He ends up finding this pair of sunglasses, and actually boxes and boxes of these sunglasses. When he puts them on, he's able to see through the mind control that is all around. And instead of seeing the signs with the advertising images on them, he actually sees words underneath them saying consume, listen, don't think, all these kind of things. And he starts seeing that there are beings around that are reptilians, reptile-looking beings that aren't humans at all, but that are being masked by some sort of electronic frequency. Anyway, that's the ins and outs of the story. If you haven't seen it, I suggest you do. But here we have a very interesting video here from the Celtic Rebel. It's called They Live, We Sleep Deeply. Check it out.
Hello, and welcome to my very first Celtic Rebel video weblog. Over the last 80 or 90 years, movies have become our primary source of entertainment, our primary escape from our doldrum lives. But is there something more? Are we being marketed products that we don't need? Are we being sold ideas that are not our own? Is history being rewritten or represented to us? Is there occult communication between those in the know? Is there ritual revealing of a sacrificial nature? Are we being predictively programmed? The answers to these questions are yes, 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 and yes. But sometimes, if you look beneath the surface of the movie, which is intended for the popcorn-chewing masses, you will see a much different story taking place, spoken in the language of symbols, metaphors, and a covert storyline. Today we look at John Carpenter's They Live, one of the most amazing and revealing films I have ever come across. Now, several people out there may not necessarily agree with that, but they're not looking past the campy science fiction surface story. You have to look much deeper than that. This is a film about truth. This is a film about awakening. This is a film about our present world. Now, if you try to interpret this literally as a wacky sci-fi plot, that's kind of like looking at the Bible and interpreting it literally. If you've done that, then you're going to miss out on the entire storyline. Let's meet our protagonist. He is Rowdy Roddy Piper, yes, the former wrestler. He's in dire economic straits. He's wandering about. He's lost. Most importantly, he is awakening to the reality that everything is not as it seems. Now, those of us who are undergoing our own process of awakening are going to soon identify with the character because he is undergoing the same transformation. He is a truth seeker. He is us. Our protagonist runs into the crazy preacher, this crazy blind man rambling on and on about a bunch of nonsense. At least that is what our conditioning tells us. But notice, our truth seeker decides to listen. His instinct is telling him there may be something to this. Pay close attention to the preacher's words. Anyone who's read the words of David Icke or Michael Tessarian, William Bramley, or Charles Fort may find them quite interesting.
their tongues to deceive. The venom of snakes is under their lips. Their mouths are full of bitterness and curses. And in their paths, nothing but ruin and misery. And the fear of God is not before their eyes. They have taken the hearts and minds of our leaders. They have recruited the rich and the powerful. And they have blinded us to the truth. And our human spirit is corrupted. Why do we worship greed? Because outside the limit of our sight, feeding off us, perched on top of us from birth to death, are our owners. Our owners. They have us. They control us. They are our masters. Wake up!
Now you have to ask yourself, why are they dragging the preacher away? You have to think critically. I know that years and years of indoctrination disguised as education has beaten down our critical thinking ability, but we have to try to think outside the box. Why do the police fear what this crazy man who nobody's going to pay attention to has to say? That is the question we have to ask. Note the preacher's final words. Wake up. Please wake up. Now, how many times have you truth seekers out there repeated that same thing to all your friends, all your family that won't believe you? In the movie, there's another voice that's there to try to wake up the people. That voice is introduced as the hacker. I prefer to call that voice the voice of truth.
Our impulses are being redirected. We are living in an artificially induced state of consciousness that resembles sleep. Their intention to rule rests with the annihilation of consciousness. We have been lulled into a trance. They have made us indifferent to ourselves, to others. We are focused only on our own gain.
Is this what we've been reduced to? Is that how pathetic we've become? Well, you need look no further than a typical American teenager for your answer. Look how obsessed they are with things that don't matter. Bling, style, the latest fads, fashions, having somebody else's name on their shirts and underwear. Willingly allowing MTV to dictate to them what their own musical tastes are. Do they care about anything that matters? Being intelligent? Thinking for themselves? Even the natural spirit of rebellion has been misdirected and controlled into the most fruitless and useless of avenues. Well, your average adult isn't that much better off. All you have to do is look among your friends and neighbors and see how petty we've all become as well. Obsessed with cars, our houses, looking better than our neighbors, being perceived as better, putting ourselves in debt to create that sense of perception, marketing ourselves to mates based more on what we have than who we are. This is not natural. This is so out of touch with ourselves. This is all ego-driven nonsense. And if you want to find the source of it, you need look no further than your own television. Our protagonist, Roddy Piper, discovers a pair of sunglasses that allow him to see things as they really are. I find the sunglasses to be a very interesting metaphor. Now, I'm not sure how they made it into the movie or why they were chosen, if it was Ray Nelson's work or the hand of John Carpenter or any of the numerous other people that tend to work on movies of this nature. But the sunglasses as a metaphor for allowing one to see the truth raise a lot of interesting possibilities for us to contemplate. Now, what I'm inclined to believe is that the sunglasses represent a method for blocking out all the lies and disinformation and control that is spread by the cult of Aton. Now, for those who are familiar with Michael Tessarian or Ralph Ellis, the cult of Aton would be the solar cult that originated from the Hyksos dynasty of Amenhotep IV, who changed his name to Akhenaten and left Egypt, aka Moses. As even Sigmund Freud indicated, he believed that the entire Exodus story was generated as a cover for the Hyksos dynasty being forced to leave from Egypt. And I should probably also indicate that according to some, they believe that the source of what many of us perceive to be the evil that surrounds us in this world, and all this social engineering that takes place, has its roots back in Amenhotep and that dynasty. Other theories that would be supported by the use of the sunglass metaphor would be the Vatican, basically the continuation of the Roman Empire, and of course the Vatican's own solar deity, which would be the sun god Jesus Christ. The Illuminati from Bavaria and Ida Weishaupt could be another option to ward off the rays of the illuminated ones. And you could even take it as far as the Freemasons and their own solar deity of sorts, which would be Lucifer. With the sunglasses on, he sees the world as it really is. He was in the process of awakening, and now he has woken up. No more pretty pictures with models on them, no more advertisements for mundane products, nothing but propaganda. Instructions for how to live, instructions on how to be. If you don't think subliminals are something we are exposed to on a regular basis, you've got another thing coming. Remember George Bush and rats? Now you could take the metaphor one step further and say when we are watching movies ourselves, we think we're watching an action flick, we're watching a love story, we're watching a horror film. But what is really happening is underneath the surface, via neurolinguistic programming, we are being instructed on how to live and implanted with ideas that are not even our own. Look around him in the film. What do all the signs say? Stay asleep. Shop. Watch television. Conform. Obey. And in one of the more telling scenes of the movie, as the vendor holds the denominations of various Federal Reserve notes he has in his hand, they only say one thing on them. This is your God. Yes, we have allowed the Federal Reserve to manipulate us and let us turn this worthless paper into our Lord. Just look around at how pathetic people become over the concept, or how many scenes you've seen from different movies where there's a beautiful naked woman laying in bed, tossing Federal Reserve notes over her body, covering herself up with them. Oh, joy.
Alright, so there's more to that. That is from the Celtic Rebel. And They Live, We Sleep Deeply. You can find those up at YouTube. I'm going to play some more tomorrow of this because I think it's pretty darn fascinating. Alright, we've come to the end part of the show here. Let's take a moment, just kind of zero ourselves in for today. Alright, close your eyes, my friends. Close your eyes for a moment. Relax. I want you to imagine that you are walking along a path, and as the path you're walking along, you'll notice out in front of you there are a number of obstacles. And as you travel along this path, see yourself stepping over the obstacles. See yourself moving smoothly from the beginning of the path to the end of the path. Notice that that's how your day can go. Plant that seed in your mind that your day can go smooth and easy by just stepping around the obstacles, finding a way to move with them and not get run over by them. Imagine at this moment sending love and light around the planet. Imagine sending love to all the other beings around the world, those in Japan, those in Russia, those in the Middle East, those down in Australia, and every place else you can think of around the world. Imagine sending love and light. 90. Because there are beings all around who are in need of help. And the only way we're going to get through this is to help each other. So imagine sending light and love, and imagine this love and light being received. Feel the love and light being sent to you now from all of those around the planet who are doing the same thing. I want you to go ahead and simply imagine that love and that light you have, you're focusing it down into the earth to help heal the earth. To help heal the earth. Imagine all the places where the earth is hurting. The oceans, the land. Send this light and love down into it. Think good thoughts for the earth. Now let's bring our energy and attention back to the present moment. 3, coming back to the present moment filled with confidence. 2, coming back to the present moment filled with faith. And 1, coming back to the present moment happy, healthy, and whole, ready to go out there and take on the day. Or get ready for the next day, depending on where you are listening to this show right now. That's it. As you go into the world, pay attention, friends. I know it's the same message over and over to wake up and pay attention, but that's the problem that is going on. People are asleep. People are allowing themselves to accept all the atrocities of life for some silly reason. You know better. So follow your gut. Follow your instinct. Trust. That's what's going to get us through this, my friends. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace. I'm out of here.